let's hit record. All right, here we go. And we'll see if that one gentleman pops back in. I'll try to get him in if he does. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. It's just gotten cloudier, so it's just gotten darker in here. Have a strap nearby and then find a way to sit that feels really comfortable for you, whether it's cross-legged, on blankets, off blankets, you know, all of those things, just to see if you can find a really settled way to sit. And I wanted to read another poem. This is third class in a row, I think, that I am going to Donna Fald's wisdom for these very interesting, challenging times still. And this poem of hers is called Willingness. So find yourself nice and comfortable and maybe close your eyes and maybe take in, to the best of your ability, this poem called Willingness. In the willingness to feel, there is healing. In the choice not to closet, cast aside, or deny experience, energy is freed, and I dive deeper into life. There may be maturity in choosing not to act, but there are no rewards for suppression or denial. To be fully alive is saying yes to the wide array of human feelings. When I soften, release, and breathe, I discover I am more than what I think, feel, reason, or believe. So sitting well, eyes closed, soft breath moving in and out. That poem resonates with me because I've been feeling a bit stressed about all that's been going on over the last week or so. And instead of pushing aside the feelings, I've been trying to explore a little and breathe a lot and move a lot to allow these things to process through my body so that I'm not holding it in. I spent years of my life in my 20s and 30s holding in all of the emotion and distress and pain. And as an older and wiser woman, I don't want to hold that stuff in, right? I don't think it's productive. And so I don't need to react, but I want to just feel and process and allow it to move on, just like the breath. And so we come to this present moment, and maybe we think of ways that we can ground ourselves into the present moment so that we can feel a sense of stability and the word's escaping me, but just stability so that we can move through what we are moving through. So just feel that. Feel maybe in your body where you are holding in or where you are processing possibly some stress or some fear or some angst, or, and if none of those, maybe you're doing much better than I am, and maybe it's joy, maybe it's happiness, maybe it is contentment. Those are the places we breathe in, right? We breathe through. Maybe soften the belly. Maybe widen the space around the heart so that the heart can move more freely. Good. And then open your eyes, start to roll your shoulders. Just squeeze them out. There you go. Just feel it. Maybe take one shoulder, just one shoulder. Take it up. Good. Couple more. One shoulder. And then take that same shoulder, hand to shoulder, and roll the elbow. Make a big circle with your elbow. Couple more. And then take that same elbow straight out, take it to a cactus arm, and imagine that you could roll this whole shoulder down, right, down and back, so that the shoulder blade slides back, and then just open it to the side without twisting. Just feel the, excuse me, feel the stretch right at the front of the chest. And then bring it back, bring it forward, maybe bring it across, and bring it open wide. And bring it forward and across. Good. This time as you stretch it back, allow your body to twist and move the torso over to one side. Just stretching it out. Try to keep the elbow level with your shoulder. And take it back and let it go. Ooh, feel that. And then start to circle the other shoulder. Maybe go a little bit slower. What's happening on one side versus the other. And again, where do you feel the strain, the stress, the tightness? Couple more circles here. Really find your range of motion. And then hand to shoulder, big elbow circles. That's it. Relax your jaw. One more big circle, and take that single arm out to cactus, and then just stretch it back, and try not to twist. You can move a little bit, it's not like being rigid, but just see if you can stretch it, and then bring it across. And stretch, stretching the front of the chest, right, contracting the back, bringing it across. One more, this time follow that twist all the way. And just feel that, soften the head, the neck, and bring it center, and let it go. Roll both shoulders. Good, both hands to both shoulders, big circles. Working with the shoulders here, the chest. Take both arms out to the sides, bring both elbows to center. Good, bring them out, and center. Open them wide and center. Last one here. Open wide. Squeeze it into center. Open the elbows. Come to cactus arms. Both sides. Watch that head neck tension. Right? Bring your, just pick one side. It's okay. If you want a mirror, I won't pick sides. So take one arm and bring it across. And squeeze. And then open that one up, bring the other one across, squeeze. Oh, and open. Good, do it again. Squeeze it across. And open. Squeeze it across. And open. Good. Open both elbows really wide. Really wide. And then twist everything to one side. Good. Watch the head, the neck. Try to keep the chest lifted. Come center. Twist everything to the other side. Breathe, come center, open those arms out, turn your palms up, curl your fingers, your wrists, really curl the wrists here, be mindful of course. And then big strong Popeye arms, squeeze it until the knuckles come all the way to your shoulders. Undo, 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 keep the wrists curled, and then release the wrists, release the fingers, turn the palms down. Wow, and let go. Good, roll it out. Shift out the legs if they're cranky, or maybe just try, if you're easily cross-legged, maybe you try to take the other leg in front. That used to feel super weird to me. It feels less super weird now. So that's a nice thing. Good. And then take both hands in front of you and interlace your hands. Just interlace and do wrist circles. Woo! I can hear the cracking from here. right? And just kind of figure it out, right? How does that feel to circle your wrist? Nice range of motion again. We have a lot of issues sometimes with the wrists. And in yoga, we try to ground the hands, but it doesn't always work. All right, so then stop that twist and look at your hands and look at which thumb is on top and switch the fingers so that the other thumb is on top. It will feel weird. And then do that circle again. Yep. You can circle to the side. You can circle center. You can circle to the other side. Oh, Lordy, good. And release it. Now, squeeze those hands and keep them at where they are, even if it feels weird, right? Probably all of you are in the opposite that you would normally do. I want you to press your thumbs away from you. Nice straight arms. They can be soft. Watch the shoulders. Just press them away. And then curl them into your heart. And press them away and then move the thumbs away. So you're trying to drop those thumbs to the floor. And then bend and curl them back in. One more time here. Just press them away. And bring them in. And then release and shake them out. Nice job, everybody. Grab your strap, straighten out your legs. Oh my goodness gracious. Good. If you can sit in Dandasana with a nice straight chest, keep the legs straight. If that's just not happening this early in class, bend your knees and dig in your heels so that you stay grounded with a nice long spine. Grab your strap, watch the buckle end of it. If you have a buckle, take the strap nice and wide and bring it up. So straight up. I can see my little hanging on the wall is obscuring that a little bit, but I think you have what you need there. And then try to pull the strap apart. Soft elbows, everybody. Really pull. Good. Breathe. Belly is toned. Legs are active. And then just release the pull. Good. Two more here. Just pull, pull, pull. Feel the activation of your back body. And release. One more here. Pull, pull, pull. You got it. Breathe. Maybe lengthen the back of your hands, especially if the elbows are creased. And release. And then slowly take them over, the strap over to one side. One arm is straight up, relatively. The other one is pulling down. We're not leaning too much because of the straight legs. Really ground through your legs. And center. Go to the other side. One arm mostly straight up. The other arm mostly down toward the side. Breathe. Good. Take it up. One more, both sides. Maybe you reach a little bit more with that top arm. Maybe the bottom arm comes all the way to the floor and you stretch that side body. Good. And center. Other side. Don't force this, right? If it's too low, don't go that low. Maybe the hand comes to the floor as the other arm reaches up, the head is nice and aligned, and take it up, everybody. Good, and then bend your elbows and take it behind you. Soften the fingers here. Lift the chest, tone your belly, and just notice. Soft head, soft neck, maybe turn the head side to side. I want you to take a deep breath. So, as I was thinking about class and what I wanted to teach, and nothing solid was coming to me over the last couple of days, but what kept coming to me more softly, more loosely, was two things. One, grounding, right? So when we get these weird times and our hearts are struggling or our minds are racing, we need grounding. Yoga is so grounding. So feel the grounding of your legs. Feel the opening of your heart. So this second thing that kept coming to me, besides grounding, was heart opening. So guess what? Here we are. All right, lift up. Exhale, let it go. Release your strap and just set it aside. Bend your knees and take your feet hips width apart, but dig the heels into the floor. And then take your hands just in front of your knees and lift up through your chest. So when we think about grounding, right, almost drawing taproots down into the earth. And I want you to think about that right now. Imagine both heels drawing taproots down, deep, deep down into the earth. And then imagine those sit bones, whatever you're feeling underneath, drawing those down. And yet the heart is lifted. When we ground, this lovely, delicate, strong heart of ours can find more opening. When we're not grounded, at least for me, it's a little bit more challenging. So here we are. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Good. Maintain this grounding, this deep-rooted, strong, seated pose. Take your hands to your heart. Soften the shoulders down and breathe. Interlace your fingers. Press the hands out. Lift up. Good. Lift up. Feel the shoulder blades soften down through your chest. Really dig in those heels. And as you exhale, I want you to curl back and bring your hands to your belly or to your heart. Right? And then slowly press out. Lift up, lift up, lift up. Your elbows can be soft here. Maybe you try that as an option, right? And feel back. And then lift up, curl back, squeeze back, squeeze back. Good, 3 more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, squeeze in. Good, inhale, reach up. Everybody dig those heels in. Exhale, squeeze it in. Last one, inhale. Exhale, squeeze in. You're holding this one, right? So first, roll those shoulders back and down. You feel as if you're like holding on to this belly. The belly's pressing into the hands are pressing into the bellies. We're leaning back, right? So we feel, lift of the chest, core, belly work, and then release the hands, reach them forward. Draw your shoulders back, keep digging the heels in. Take the arms out. Find that pose, maybe lift the heels. Woo, a little bit of core work. A lot of bit of core work. Lower the heels. Lift up. Wrap your arms around and just curl. Good, one more here. I just turned sideways so you can see that in case the front on version didn't work so well for you. So dig in your heels. And then pull the heels back and feel your hamstrings, right? Feel that active. Lift up your chest, take both hands to your heart. You're gazing forward, but that gaze is soft, right? Find your breath. And then interlace your hands like you normally would, but then change the fingers. So your other thumb is on top, you'll know because it'll just feel weird. And then press those hands up and lift up. Lift your chest, everybody. Dig your heels in. Try to drag the heels back a little bit. And then exhale, curl it in, curl it in, curl it in. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, curl it in. Oh, good. And up. Big deep breath. Exhale, curl it in. We got one more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, curl it in. Hold and start by just holding on to that belly, right? And then it feels almost like there should be a big belly chuckle here, like, right? So hold that and then lift up your chest and tone your belly and then press both arms out. Roll the shoulders back. Find your breath. Lift your chest. Take one leg up, right? Almost boat pose. Talk about a grounding pose. Take your other heel and dig it back isometrically. Good. Lower that foot. Lift the other one. Dig that one back. Keep lifting your chest the whole time. And if you want, take them both up. And breathe. You can take hands behind your thighs, right? Softly to lift up even more. Good. And find that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the heels. Oh. And just round forward. And breathe. Good. And come on up. Core is nice and warmed up. Just one more thing here, and then we're gonna get moving to downward facing dog. So take your, I'm gonna try to mirror here. Take your left hand to your heart, to your chest. Take the right arm forward and pull the shoulder back, and then reach the arm forward. Pull it back, and reach it forward. Good, one more here. Pull it back. Feel that kind of like sucking in of the muscle into the joint itself, and then reach forward. Good, this time I want you to pull it back and hold. Take the arm out to the side, your palm is face forward. Imagine that someone is pulling on your arm, but then sucking it back in or drawing it back in, and then reach out, draw it in. Good, one more here. Reach it out, and then draw it in. So you are in forward and you're into the side, right? Core, that core muscle engagement. And then start to reach the hand back, the arm back, but don't let the chest roll with it. So the hand that's on the chest is giving you information. I'm actually resisting a little bit to help keep that open. Soften your head, your neck. Take the arm down at a little bit of an angle. Feel that stretch, right? Working with pectoral muscles, pec minor, pec major. Breathe, maybe take it down a little bit more. Where is your stretch for you? Right? Is yours down low? Is it up high? Can you find the range of motion? Ooh, yeah, right? So when we have fear or stress or discomfort, we will tend to curl in through the front body, right? So instead of buying into that, I'm going to be really brave and just open the space up instead. Going, yeah, right here, vulnerability, right? Heart opening, vulnerability. Go and take the arm up. Exhale, and let it go. And feel the difference one side to the other side, right? Maybe roll it out a little bit. And then go the other side. So take your right hand in the center of your chest. Maybe you feel your heartbeat. Maybe. Reach the other arm forward, left arm forward, and then just draw back and pull it out. As if somebody has your hand and is pushing against the hand and then pulling the hand back. Good, reach back and reach forward. Good, this time I want you to reach it back and hold. Take that arm out to the side and then reach the arm out and draw it back in. And see if you can actually move through the shoulder blade on that side. So instead of moving your whole waist, see if you can actually squeeze the shoulder blade. Yeah, and out. Good, so draw it in and hold. It's already back. Feel that, notice that. Turn the palm forward. Your right hand stays on your chest and your left arm starts to reach back. Whoa. Right, big time. Simple stuff. And then I want you to breathe. So one of the things that we can learn in yoga is that we can breathe through the discomfort here. And then the life lesson, of course, is that we can breathe through other discomfort that is happening. So maybe take the arm down a little bit and feel that stretch. Where are you carrying the tension? Where are the guards, right? All around the heart here. And then maybe take it down a little bit more. Maybe it's higher for you. Maybe take the arm up some. Where is that for you? Maybe it's way up here. There should not be pain. That's different. But stretch or challenge or edge, yeah, maybe, right? Where do we want to go? Good. And then take the arm up and release it. And take a moment to roll your shoulders and feel, hopefully, a little bit more freedom here. All right, my darlings, let's come to table pose. Take a moment to cushion your knees. If you would like something, we're not going to be here long, but we're going to be here long enough. But you might want a blanket or something underneath, a pad under the knees to help with that. Come down to your elbows. Your knees are underneath your hips. Press your right leg back. Press into your elbows, press into the forearms and the hands, and lift your right leg. Tone the belly in, level out your hips, your toes are pointing down. Find that breath, breathe, notice. Pressing into the fullness of the forearms. That's it. And release it. Just let go. Go to the other side. So far, so good. Press back with your left leg. Tone the belly. Lift the left leg. Maybe look back and see that your toes are pointing for the most part down. The belly is toned in. You're not moving into a back bend. Press into the fullness of your forearms. All the way down to your pinky fingers. Feel the wrist press into the floor. Feel everything happening. And let that go. Then unlace the hands, take the arms out so that you're in Sphinx arms, right? The palms are pressing down to the floor, the elbows or shoulders width apart, press the right leg back. Tone your belly in, lift your right leg, find that pose again, and then either stay here or walk your left fingertips out in front of you. You are looking down at your mat, there's no strain in your neck. Big deep breath. And then either stay here or you're going to slide your left arm back so that it's sliding past your hip, reaching back toward the other foot. Breathe. Tone the belly here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it forward, nice and controlled. Let that forearm land. Set your right knee back down. Maybe press back off your elbows and stretch. Good, come on forward, same thing, other side. You're on your elbows, pressing into your hands. By the way, some of my wrist folks, you can play too with palms, with your fists, soft fists on the floor instead of palms on the floor, and see how that feels for you. Tone the belly, lift your left leg, engage that leg, fire up your core, press strongly into your whole left forearm from elbow to fingertips. Walk your right hand forward. Kind of squeeze everything back towards center. Right, so your elbow that's on the floor is kind of drawn towards center. Your leg is isometrically drawn towards center. And either stay here or release that right arm and reach it back behind. Find your breath. That's it. You got it. And release it. Forearm to the floor. Lower that leg. Press into the hands. Reach back, a little puppy stretch here. And then slide forward until you're in Sphinx Pose. Right, so you're on your, you feel your hip bones, you feel your pubic bone. Your arms are still out, parallel to each other. Elbows are roughly right underneath your shoulders and about as wide as your shoulders. Tone the belly in and feel this nice little back bend. Press into your pubic bone, press into the tops of your feet if you can. Breathe, maybe stretch out your belly. That's it. And then press into your knees. We've been playing with this for a while. Bend your knees. My blanket's going to throw me off here, so I'm going to move it out of the way. Half plank on elbows. Bend your knees, engage your hamstrings, right? Tone your belly. Try to squeeze your elbows back toward your waist. Yep, core work. Breathe. Pressing down, pressing in. Woo! That's it. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And then release the legs, release the belly. Come back to Sphinx. We're going to do 2 more here. It's been one of my favorite core poses lately, so sorry we keep doing this one. All right, press up. So it was, the way it was taught was to almost round, like you're in plank, half plank on your knees, but you're almost tucking in. You really keep that lower back supported. Your legs can be straight. I like to add those hamstrings in for a little extra work, and then try to drag your elbows toward your knees. Try to drag your knees toward your elbows. Keep the shoulders wide, keep the head relaxed. Breathe, press into your hands. Woo! That's it, that's it, that's it. And release it. Sphinx pose. Maybe come off elbows if they're chatty. Breathe, maybe turn the palms face up. One more here. Press into your hands, press into your elbows. Remember, soft pinky side fists also work. Press into your knees, tuck your belly, lift or don't lift your legs, squeeze the hamstrings if you want to go that route. Squeeze your knees toward your elbows toward your knees. Breathe. Keep reaching, keep pressing. That's it. Find that. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good. Just straighten those arms out. Stretch them out. Maybe forehead to the floor. Nice deep breath. All right, come on up, everybody. Press into hands and knees, and then flip your toes under and come right to downward facing dog. Once you're in down dog, stretch it out. Just stretch it out, shake it out, move it out, right? We don't want this stuck energy, if there is any, so let's just shake it out. Move through your waist, move through your feet. Find your breath, plant those hands, deep tap roots. And then come all the way up on your tippy toes. Stretch it out and press back. Step forward, right leg. Lower your left knee to the floor, release that back foot. Take your blocks one under each hand. Stretch out the front of your left leg. Breathe, isometrically pull your front heel, your right heel back. Take your hands to your knees. Inhale, reach up. And breathe. Soft shoulders, right? Pressing into the legs, dragging your front heel back. Finding that support. I've got a wall here, so I can only go on one side. I want you to bring your hands back and open your chest. Right? We were just here. Squeeze your left glute, drag your right heel back. Opening up the chest, softening the head, the neck, the jaw. Maybe stick your tongue out. Right? Let go of all of that. And then take the arms up. Exhale your hands down. You can leave them on blocks. Make sure they're steady. Step or lift your left knee. Step back to plank. Big core work here, and then step forward, left leg. Lower your right knee to the floor. Release your back toes. You got this. Drag your front heel back. Take your hands all the way up. And find your breath. Right? Feel this stretch. Feel the whole front of your right leg. Stretching out, nice tone to the belly. No big deal, no big problem. Take those hands back and behind and notice, stretch, open, open, open. Take the arms up and leave them wide and open here. Take the hands behind your head and open through the elbows. Feel the back body squeeze. Feel the front chest open. Find your breath. Release it. Hands come to blocks. Lift your right knee. Tone your belly. Press back to plank. And breathe, everybody. Good, squeeze the legs, tone the belly, open up the shoulders. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your knees. Take your same blocks, walk them forward. Leave your hands on your blocks and sink down toward the floor. That's it. Good. And then come on back up. Bring your right knee forward. Drag that right heel back. Flip your toes under. Optionally lift your left leg or left knee off the floor. You can leave it down as well, okay? So your choice there. I want to squeeze everything to the middle. Take your hands to your knee. Open up, start to open up the chest. Arms come to cactus pose this time. Open wide. Find your breath. Woo! Good. I want you to take your right leg is forward. I want you to take your left arm across your chest and breathe. Keep pressing back through your left leg. Keep dragging your right heel to the back. Open it up. Take your right one across. Open it up. Left arm across. Open. Last one. Take it across. Woo! And open. Take both arms up. Reach up. Exhale all the way down. Same thing. We're just gonna switch sides, but maybe we transition through plank pose. Yeah, right? Finding that core strength, grounding strength. Step forward, left leg. Your right knee is either down or it's up. Piece of cake. Press your right or your left heel back. Tone your belly. Walk your hands to your knee. Lift up your chest. Good. Notice here a little bit of change in the arms. I want you to take the hands behind and interlace. And then press straight down, not out, but down. And breathe. Find your focus point, everybody. Breathe. Woo. Maybe the hands drop lower. Maybe the chest lifts a little higher. That's it. Release your hands. Woo. Find your blocks one last time. Plank pose. Breathe. Probably not the last time. So forget that part. But just notice, right? Press out of those blocks. Stay lifted in your chest. Stay wide in your collarbones. Fire up your legs. Press the heels back. Breathe. And lower your knees. Well done. Set your blocks aside. And just either come to puppy stretch or child's pose. Find your breath, everybody. I think it was Iyengar, but I'm not sure. Somebody said that we reach the soul through the body, right? We move this body, we have this experience of having a body in and being alive, and through that, we reach the soul. I'm paraphrasing like crazy. But I want you to feel, right? Maybe for the last 10, 15 minutes, you haven't thought about a whole lot of other stuff, except maybe what you were experiencing in your body. This is how we process, or at least how I process. Maybe for you, it's writing. Maybe for you, it's cooking. How do we process? How do we come back to the central core of our truth? All right, come on up, everybody. Plant your hands, downward facing dog. Reach back, take the feet wide on your mat. My pinky toes are toward the edges of my mat. The knees just got super soft. Look at your knees and press them out. So almost like a squat, kind of weird squat. Press out the knees so that your knees are lined up with your feet. Broaden through your collarbones. Tone your belly, press into your hands. And imagine 4 tap roots pressing through the ball mounds and through the hands. And find that opening. Maybe stretch and lean to the right side. So I'm not lifted off my left side, but I'm leaning heavy into my right side. And then come center and lean the other way. Yeah, center, one more, both sides. Just lean, maybe your left hand comes off the floor. And then plants, and lean to your left, and maybe your right hand comes off the floor. And center, and then walk everything back to your feet. Your feet are parallel, your knees are parallel. Bend your knees, good deep squat, tone your belly. Take your hands to your knees. And come on up. And roll your shoulders. Good. Shake it all out, everybody. And then take your feet nice and long. Toes are pointed out, slightly, right? So that when you squat, your knees and your feet line up. I've said that a zillion times, so you already know that. You can hear me say it before I say it, right? The crease of your hips is deep and it draws down, right? And then imagine that you could pull your heels to the middle space, like you could actually shift it, but you don't. So feel the heels draw in as the knees draw out. Tone the belly. And then straighten the legs, reach the arms up. Exhale. Come on down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, down. Inhale, 2 more, reach up. Exhale, down. Last one, reach up. Exhale, down, hold. Take those hands to your thighs. Reach the shoulders up to the ears, a little horse stance here. Maybe lift off your heels. Again, playing with some things we've been playing with. Find your breath, find your focus point. Squeeze the shoulders up, the heels lift up, the hands press down. Good, lower the heels, lower the shoulders. Woo. Hold your pose. Feel those legs working. Yeah, right? Bring your hands to your heart. Squeeze your belly, interlace your hands, press them out, lift them up. Exhale, curl it all in as the chest heads toward the floor and the butt goes back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, reach up. We got one more. Exhale. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, release those hands and straighten the legs. Oh, yeah. Shake it out. Shake it out. And then maybe heel toe in a little bit, okay, for what we're going to do next. I think of it as, I don't know why, but like sumo wrestler or Jolly Green Giant kind of a thing. Our hands are to our hearts, and we're just, to our hips, and we're just going to see if we can lift up and then sit down, but try not to sit down like boom, right, really hard. I just want you to see if you can lean, step up, squat, soft knees, and up. Now, if this is super hard, I want you to go narrower, right? Even if you're here and you just lift up. It's harder when you're wide because you've got a little bit more muscle engagement to overcome. So lift up, and lift up, woo, and lift up. Don't go so fast. And up. Feel the legs. Up. Good. 2 more. Up. And up. Good. Pause and then just come to standing, roll your shoulders. Think about what we just did. This time I want you to squat. You're not super wide, right? Squat, behind back, hips back, all this nice and toned. And I just want you to come to the toes of your right foot. I'm mirroring here. Just trying to come up to the toes. And then see if you can lean more to your left side. Ooh. Breathe, watch the knees, no knee pain here. And then release. And then lean toward your right. Come up to your toes on the left. Keep the butt back, by the way, so you don't overshoot the foot too much. Breathe and come back. All right, here. Squat, lean to your left, lift your toes, lift your toes. See if you can come off center and lift your right foot off the floor. Now, I have my left leg bent, and it's wobbling like crazy because I need to use the muscles. If I straighten, it's actually easier. Right now I'm bent, and then softly lower. Right, big time. Lean to your right, come to your toes. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you just lean enough to lift a little, right, and tap back down. Maybe you lift enough with that right knee bent to lift that foot off the floor. Find your pose. Lower, release, and come up. Once you come up, I want you to squeeze hips and glutes a lot. So again, I'm like so full of thoughts today. After several days of just turmoil, of watching too much news, and having to try to process all of the emotion. And I just feel off kilter, right? Off kilter. And so here we are again, we're in yoga, and we're off kilter. So what do we have to do to get back to center? So here we are again. Bend the knees, knees out to the side, hands to hips. Lean toward your left. Come to your tippy toes. This time, instead of a bent left knee, I want a straight left knee. Toes, or the right leg goes out, hips engage. Maybe the left arm reaches. Maybe the right arm comes down toward your hip. Breathe. I'm off kilter, but I'm feeling stronger. I'm grounding the tap root in the right foot, all the way down. I'm taking some of the stress out, and I'm trying something new. Release, bend the knee, come center. If you're really struggling with this, I just want you to come narrower and just lift, right? You don't have to make this not accessible, right? We can make this accessible in our bodies. All right, last one, left side. Knees are bent. I'm gonna lean heavy to the right. My toes are spread out. I'm gonna start to lift out, but this time instead of bent leg, I'm gonna straighten it and breathe. Belly squeezes in. Maybe the right arm reaches and the left arm reaches down. And I find my still point best I can. And I realize that it is possible to find our center even when we're off kilter. Bend the knee, release. Widen the legs. Come into a nice wide leg forward fold. Deep breath, everybody. Soft back of your knees. All right, bend your knees, hands to knees. Come on up. And then heel toe your feet back to center. Roll and shake everything out. How you feeling, everybody? I hope everybody's good out there in my yoga Zoom world. Come on back to the front of your mat. Grab your strap. Take the strap behind your back with your palms face out. Take your feet wider than your normal, maybe twice your normal hips width apart. I'm almost to the edges of my mat, but not quite. And then hold the strap and pull it down behind you. Notice how that immediately lifts your chest, but watch the backs of your knees, right? What we don't want to do is this, right? We don't want to hyperextend and do this weird thing, pushing our pelvis forward. We want to just open up here and then soften the fingers. From here, bend the knees, bring those hips way back. Your torso is level-ish with the floor. Your shoulders, your front shoulders are away from the floor. As you come to your forward fold, which might be just this, I want the arms to stay straight and press away from your body. They don't have to be high. They can be high, they can be low. Chest is extended, the knees are soft, the knees are pressing to the outer edges a little bit. We open up the shoulders, we open up the heart. We find our breath. We allow the emotions to flow through us so that they get to the other side, right? So they go away. The emotion is not permanent. Breathe. Lower your arms, bend your knees as if someone were pulling that strap away from you, and come all the way back up to standing. Release the strap. Roll it out. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, take it down, forward fold. Step back, downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet, plant your hands. Inhale to your tippy toes. Lower down to your knees. Bend your elbows and place your elbows on the floor. Interlace your hands softly. And notice, right, usually when we're on our hands and they're interlaced, we've got that pinky finger at the very bottom. I want you to just tuck that pinky finger in so that you're not leaning on just that one pinky finger, so that you feel the edges of both hands on the floor. Press your elbows in, press your hands in, broaden through your collarbones, tuck your belly, lift your knees off the floor, Dolphin Pose. Maybe walk the feet forward so that you are more shoulders, elbows, shoulders. Find your breath, tone your belly. You got it. Just breathe, everybody. Keep pressing out of your shoulders. If this is hard, you walk the feet back some, or you release the knees to the floor. Breathe. And then everybody walk the feet back, walk them back, walk them back until you are in elbow plank. Breathe, press into the hands, the wrists, the elbows. Move out of the pose, lengthen your legs, fire them up. Lower your knees to the floor. Release the hands. Come to Sphinx Pose. Find that back bend. Maybe sway side to side until you move through the belly and you move through where you carry, where you store your emotion. We're going to do one more of those, that whole thing, right? So when you're ready, and if you're not, take a break, take a moment, right? Maybe child's pose, maybe just a nice prone, chill out shavasana. All right, so wherever you are, you're on your knees, you're on your elbows through your forearms, you're moving your little pinky finger out of the way. Press down through the forearms to lift away from the floor. Bend tuck your toes, come to dolphin. Maybe walk your feet up. You should feel supported here. If you don't, come out a little bit, or maybe you just drop down to your knees. Leave your right foot on the floor, tuck your left knee in and up, and take it up to the ceiling. Breathe. Lower that. Switch sides. Raise up through your right leg. Find your pose. Your head should be completely off the floor. Lower. Walk the feet out. Find plank. Lower to Sphinx. Lower all the way down. And breathe. Maybe windshield wiper the feet. Good. And as you release, just come onto your back, but you need a block. So have a block with you. And then come down to your backs with your knees bent and your feet on the floor. Pause for a moment. Maybe take the arms to cactus so that you can stretch out all that shoulder work that we just did. Just soft, just pause. Maybe you do little snow angels with your arms, which has also become one of my favorites, weirdly enough, because it just seems to release the tightness in the muscles as we move the shoulder blades through their range of motion, right? There you go. And then release the arms and let them come down to your sides. Your block is just where you can get to it, but we're not going to use it just yet. For bridge pose, normally your ankles and your knees are lined up in a straight line, and for many of us, we can brush our middle fingertip to the back of our heels from an alignment standpoint, but that's not for everybody. If you have knee stuff, I want you to walk the feet out a little bit or come up to your heels. There's a number of options there for your knees. But then release the arms and press the palms down to the floor. Lengthen your tailbone and lift your hips off the floor. Your shoulders are pressing back into the floor. There's space behind your neck. Your head is neutral, right? And you're just checking out this first bridge pose. I'm not going in real deep. I'm not pushing too hard. I want to feel the four corners of my feet. And then just raise your left arm up overhead and behind you. Just one arm. And feel the difference, the freedom of this left side of the body. And then take your right arm and let it go overhead. It's all soft, elbows are soft. If this puts too much pressure on your head or upper neck or upper back, bring the arms back down. But from here, soft elbows, I want you to press into your feet and press your shins forward, the front of your lower leg, press it forward. Squeeze the outer hips towards center. Squeeze the outer knees toward the inner knees, and then opposite, as if you could circle the knees, if you could make a circle of that neutral, press in and press out of the knees. And then lower your right arm back down to your side. Feel a little bit more freedom in your shoulder. Lower your right arm down to your side, press into your hands, and lower everything to the floor. Woo. Maybe bring your knees toward your chest. Notice how that felt. If bridge pose is really uncomfortable in your body, for this next one, I want you to just take a block under your sacrum at the lowest level. But otherwise, if bridge is okay, don't use the block for now. All right, feet to the floor. Shoulders back, right? These front deltoid muscles, these front shoulder muscles, draw toward the floor. With that, press into your feet, lift your hips. Maybe you walk the feet in a little bit, but don't stress the knees. Maybe the elbows and upper arms are on the floor this time instead of the hands. You have space behind your neck, right? Breathe, press in. One, stay here, work with the feet, work with the legs. Two, the hands go underneath and interlace, and the outer shoulders roll in towards center. And then imagine someone has a beach ball tucked under your heart and it's pressing the heart forward a little bit more. Big deep breath. Press the shins forward, press the heels back. Ah, right? Breathe, everybody. And then come out the way that you came in. Undo the hands and the shoulders if they were tucked. Maybe the elbows press back in. The tailbone lengthens, the belly tucks a little bit. And we come back down to the floor and draw the knees to our chest. That's it. Grab your block. Take it underneath your sacrum. Go to the lowest setting. I'm just going to move my shirt a little out of the way so you can see the block better. Right, so make sure that that block, here's my hip line. Make sure it's below your hip line. It's solid on your sacrum. It's nowhere near the flesh of your lower back. And feel just this, right? Small bridge pose. I want you to bring your left knee. This is optional. Actually, let's start with both feet on the floor. From here, one, stay here because you've had enough of bridge. Or two, lift off your block. Then press your right foot into the floor, lift your left leg, take it up to the ceiling, point your toes as if somebody had your toes, and they're pulling your toes up to the ceiling, press into your right leg, and then just lower to your block, right there. Yep, press into your upper body, lift off your block. Lower back down to your block. Two more, press up, lower down. Last one, press up. Lower down. Release that leg. Yeehaw, and breathe. Press into your feet. Lift your hips. Squeeze those outer hips towards center. Stay here or press strong into your left leg. Take the right foot up. Imagine someone pulling your big toe. And then lower down to your block, tap, lift up. One, and down. Two, press up, down. Last one, press up, and down. Bend your knee, lower both feet to the floor, pause, and then bring both knees to chest. Allow your back body to round. Find your breath. And then you're real curled up here. So I want you to press your sacrum back to the block and feel really solid here. And then if you're okay with this, take both legs up to the ceiling. Your arms are either back to cactus or down at your sides, put away from your waist. Find that point where your legs don't have to work in order to stay up at the ceiling. If there's some reason your legs should not be this much above your heart, I would bend back down or come on off your blocks completely. Usually it's a high blood pressure issue where it's not controlled, or an eye pressure issue that this would not be appropriate. But otherwise, see if you can surrender here. In this, it's kind of a half supported, half not supported pose. If you were against or near a wall, you could bring your legs up the wall. But I want you to feel the heavy weight of your legs drawing into the hips. I want you to feel the complete surrender of your torso, your chest, to the floor. And feel your breath. Maybe feel your heartbeat. Notice. Maybe the body is calming down. Maybe the head is becoming clearer. Slowly bend your knees. Put just one foot on the floor, and then put the other foot on the floor. Pause here. And then softly press into your feet. Lift the hips enough to take the block out from your feet, and lower your knees to the, or lower your hips to the floor. Good, bring your left ankle to your right knee and bring those knees in toward chest. Little figure four here. Maybe rock a little side to side. And then lean toward your left so that your left thigh, your left knee comes to the floor into a little kind of a figure four twist. The rest of your body soft, maybe your right arm, your opposite arm out and to the floor. Just feel that. And then squeeze the foot into the knee into the foot, squeeze your belly, bring it all back to center. Release your left leg, switch it for your right. So right ankle to left knee, pause just a little figure four, maybe rock side to side. And then allow the right knee to head toward the floor. You're still in your figure four. You're just doing a small twist here as the left arm goes out to the side. Press your knee into your foot into your knee. Squeeze your belly to take the legs back to center. Release your right leg, draw your knees to your chest, and then open the knees out to the sides, and either grab your feet or grab your ankles Just a little supine Badakanasana or butterfly variation. Your feet are off the floor. You're just letting your knees sink out to the side as your heels draw toward your groin. And realize that in this moment, everything is okay. In this moment, in this community of wonderful people, we are here to support each other. Release your hands from your feet, draw your knees to your chest, straighten one leg really long down your mat to the corner edge of your mat, and then straighten the other leg to the other corner of your mat. Your arms either down to your sides or over your head. As we find our breath and find Shavasana. Make sure that you are warm enough. If you want to take a moment to put on a sweater or a pair of socks. But then feel your body sink down to your mat. Feel your heart wide open. Feel your body grounded in Shavasana. And maybe tap into this realization that as we ground ourselves in truth and in love, we give ourselves permission to keep our tender, strong hearts open. If you feel tension creeping back in, let it go. Softer still. Feel free to stay in Shavasana longer. Shavasana is one of the most grounding poses that we can do, and often a little bit short on these Zoom classes. So feel free to stay longer. If you are ready to move, start to wiggle your toes and your fingers. Draw your knees to your chest. Curl to fetal pose. And then ever so slowly, make your way to your seated pose.